Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're tuning in. A warm welcome to all my new viewers and followers. Today, I'm going to tell you another story where you can guess for yourselves. Is it reality or just a legend? Please, wait until the very end before reading the comments so you don't spoil the conclusion. So, sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy the story. I'd be very grateful for any likes, subscriptions, or shares. Imagine a man who never takes off his black top hat. His voice is quiet, nasal, and cold. They say he never sleeps, constantly smokes strong cigars, drinks rum infused with chili peppers, and his eyes, hidden behind impenetrable glasses, see straight into the underworld. It is believed that if you meet him at a crossroads, he holds your fate in his hands. He is the Lord of Cemeteries, the Keeper of the Gates, and the one who decides when your grave will be dug. People fear him so much, they whisper his name only with the deepest respect. His name is Baron Samedi. For a long time, everyone thought he was just a myth, a figure from voodoo legends used by parents to scare disobedient children. But then came the day when this phantom in a black frock coat stepped out of the shadows, set aside his ritual staff, picked up a stethoscope, and began to heal the sick. And that was when the greatest nightmare began. Because while the legend protects souls, this man began to steal them. He first appeared in Haiti in the 18th century, during the height of the African slave trade and French rule. He emerged as a response to the ban on African religions. Slaves brought with them the worship of ancestors and the spirits known as Loa. In West Africa, cults focused on death and cemeteries had existed for ages. The French forced the slaves into Catholicism, but the slaves simply disguised their gods as Christian saints to worship them in secret. Baron Samedi is, in a way, a black saint. Are you thinking this is just a legend? Just wait until you hear the rest. Voodoo remained secret for a long time, punishable by death. It only began to be spoken of publicly after the Haitian Revolution in 1804, when Haiti became a free state. Only then could people openly worship their spirits, and Baron Samedi became the official ruler of the graveyards. People created him because they needed someone to protect them from premature death. Baron Samedi is the one who digs the graves. Until he digs yours, you cannot die. People worshipped him to appease him, hoping he would leave their grave untouched for just a little longer. According to tradition, the spirit of the first man buried in a new cemetery becomes Baron Samedi, the owner of that ground and the guardian of all the dead within it. Without the Baron, there can be no zombies. A Bakor, sorcerer, must go to the cemetery and bribe the Baron or ask for his permission to dig up and enslave the deceased. If the Baron says no, the sorcerer has no chance. The Baron is a terrifying but just judge. He ensures the dead remain in the earth. He considers zombies unnatural, thieves stealing his subjects. That is why the Bakors fear him and must bring him offerings, a black rooster, rum, or tobacco. Baron Samedi swears, loves dark humor, and constantly jokes about things that make us uncomfortable. Yet, in voodoo tradition, he is considered the ultimate protector of children. There is a logical but touching reason for this. The Baron believes every child should have the chance to live their life to the fullest before they reach him at the cemetery. If a child is gravely ill, people pray to the Baron. It is believed that if the Baron refuses to dig the grave, the child simply cannot die. Death cannot accept them. In these moments, the terrifying Baron becomes a powerful healer. He has no mercy for those who harm the innocent. In those cases, his dark humor turns into cold, calculating rage. The name Samedi means Saturday in French. Voodoo tradition says Saturday belongs to the dead. So Baron Saturday is essentially the official in charge of the cemetery gates on the weekend. Until 1907, it truly seemed like just a legend. But then, on April 14th, François Duvalier was born. Originally, he was a highly educated man. He studied medicine and became a key figure in the fight against tropical diseases in 1943. Because he traveled the countryside healing the poor, he gained their immense trust. This is how he earned his nickname, Papa Doc. He appeared as a kind father of the nation. He utilized black nationalism in a country divided between a light-skinned elite and the black majority. In the 1957 elections, after a period of chaos, he won the presidency, promising an end to corruption. People believed in the good doctor, but then the transformation began. He started speaking in a very quiet, monotonous, nasal tone, exactly how the spirits of the dead are said to speak. He wore a black top hat and a black suit. People began to see him as the living embodiment of Baron Samedi. Papa Doc once argued with U.S. President J.F. Kennedy. He publicly declared that he had placed a voodoo curse on him. When Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas a few weeks later, Papa Doc used it as proof of his supernatural power, claiming he arranged it through magical rituals and pins in a wax doll. So what do you think today? Is it the truth, or did I make it all up? I'll give you a moment to decide. So, is it a true story or just a manipulated legend? For those of you who believed me, no, it is just a cruelly exploited legend. Papa Doc was very real, and as soon as he took office after the elections, his mask of the kindly doctor fell away. He immediately began purging the army and the government of anyone who wasn't 100% loyal to him. He created the Tonton Macoute. Because he didn't trust the regular army, he formed his own private militia, those zombie soldiers in dark sunglasses. They received no salary. Instead, they were allowed to steal and murder as they pleased, as long as they served him. It was believed they kidnapped disobedient children, stuffed them into sacks, and ate them. Duvalier knew that the fear of magic was more powerful than the fear of guns. He styled himself as Baron Samedi, and the people truly believed he possessed supernatural powers. In 1964, he changed the Constitution and declared himself president for life. From that moment, his power was absolute. When a political rival died, Duvalier supposedly had his head stolen from the grave. Rumor has it he used it in private rituals at the presidential palace to drain the wisdom and strength of his enemy. As a doctor, he started a business in Haiti trading blood plasma. Impoverished people sold him their blood for pennies, which he then sold for high prices to the USA. It was said he was literally draining the life out of them to maintain his power and wealth. He died in 1971, and power was taken over by his son, Jean-Claude Baby Doc Duvalier, who continued the reign of terror until he was ousted in 1986. Famine broke out in Haiti, and people had enough of seeing the dictatorial family drowning in luxury while the nation starved. Massive protests began, and the army eventually refused to turn against the people. The Americans, the Reagan administration, who had previously tolerated Duvalier as a bulwark against communism, finally told Baby Doc it was time to go. They provided a U.S. plane, and he fled to exile in France with his family and millions of dollars in suitcases. While his father and he caused thousands to disappear or die of hunger, Baby Doc lived out his days in luxury on the French Riviera. He returned to Haiti in 2011, but instead of facing court in handcuffs, he died peacefully of a heart attack a few years later. No prison, no punishment. Just a lavish life funded by money stolen from one of the poorest nations on earth. The people realized they had been deceived and took drastic steps to correct their mistake. To find out how, check out my video, Secrets of Haiti, because that is a story for another time. I'll add the link in the description. For anyone interested in more about Haiti, voodoo, zombies, rituals, and the full story of Papa Doc, you definitely won't be bored. The video is divided into chapters, so you can skip to the topics that interest you most. Essentially, it was all an exploited legend. Outside of Haiti, few believed Papa Doc was truly the Baron. But there were those around the world who did believe, whether because of the mysteries surrounding Haitian culture or simply because they knew someone there was claiming that title. Whether it is legend or truth, I'll let you be the judge. That is all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed my storytelling. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I love reading your thoughts. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. As I said at the beginning, I'm grateful for every like, subscription, and share. And if you'd like to support me even further, you can buy me a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! And finally, a thematic joke. A guy meets Baron Samedi at a crossroads and begs, "Baron, please, make me immortal." The Baron takes a drag from his cigar, blows out a cloud of smoke, and says, "Fine, from now on, I will not dig your grave." The guy cheers, but the Baron adds, "But don't forget, you'll have to handle your own pension and rheumatism. I'm only interested in you once you're in the ground."